Alright, so this is another little video of mine that I'm going to record. Today, I'm just waiting in the car, waiting for it to warm up to go and do a push day today. Friendly reminder to all you guys, let your cars warm up, please. It's winter. Like, let your car warm up. I was an auto tech for 2 years, and like, I'm not saying that I know much, because I definitely don't. There's always room for improvement, but I know a little bit. And there's a reason why, for example, Subarus have the little cold thing on the instrument cluster. There's a reason. So today, let's talk a little bit about. I try to go into these videos like without any real idea what I'm going to talk about, because once I get talking, it's just like I talk. Today, overall, has been a pretty good morning. I worked late last night, so I slept in a bit today to get I got seven and a half hours of sleep again. I felt pretty good waking up this morning. Had 4 eggs for breakfast today, had 2 potatoes, and here's an idea, like nutrition, okay? Because I'll talk about nutrition for a second here. And, oh, there's my brother coming back with my dog. Bye, puppy dog! So, nutrition, pre-workout nutrition. A lot of people, it's really simple, really, when you think about it. Have a lot of carbohydrates, have some sugars. Don't have too much protein, because it will weigh you down, and when you poop, it will be a pretty nasty poop. I like to have, I think the general rule of thumb, Jeff Nipper talked about too, about 1 gram of carbohydrates per kilogram of body weight. So, like this morning, I had 2 potatoes, I had some honey, and I had some, what else I have? I had an apple this morning, too, to get some sugar and carbohydrates in, too. It's really important that your muscles have sugar and that they have glycogen stores, so you don't run out of energy, because it really sucks when you do. You can definitely feel it. Sometimes, if you're really feeling tired, it won't hurt to take some sort of electrolyte or honey or something to the gym with you, just to give you that little oomph to carry you out through the end of your workout. Today, I'm gonna cook some more venison, because I freaking love venison. Red meat is so important. I used to, back when I did my big major cut from 240 down to 165 at my lowest, I didn't really care about protein quality at all. I just cared about the macros and stuff. And now it's like I've learned more about nutrition and importance of certain vitamins and everything like that. And now I'm really taking that stuff more seriously. So if you have the opportunity, definitely choose red meat when you can, because it's just such a rich nutrient content. Especially if you are cutting, you're going to need those nutrients to sustain a healthier lifestyle, because it's really not fun being a low body weight for a long time. It really starts to tax on you. Right now, I try to shoot for about 1 gram per pound of body weight or more. I like to get a little bit more. I weigh like 185 right now, like I mentioned. I like to try and hit like 200 is what I like to hit. But I'm not going to force it either. Like, if I'm at the end of the day, I'm like going to go crazy over my calories to get that protein goal, I'm not going to do it. It just doesn't make sense to me. But I try to get a lot of carbs. I need to get better about my fat content, though. My fat content has been a little bit high recently, so I'm going to try and lean that down as much as I can. Get some leaner beef, some venison, chicken, stuff like that. Whole food sources. I used to drink a crap ton of the protein shakes every day, and man, my farts were diabolical, let me tell you something. But overall, just have as many natural foods as you can. It's so easy to get processed food nowadays, and the whole like, oh, it's hard to eat healthy because it's so expensive. That's really a lie. If you go to Sam's Club or Aldi's or something, there's so many good options. I mean, I'm a freaking broke college kid, and during the semester, like right now, I have the wonderful privilege of being at home a little bit. My parents will help me out with food and everything like that. I love my parents to death, but during college, a whole big pack of chicken. You can get like 6 chicken breasts for $10 if you really look for it, and that's a really good deal. Get that, get like a big 5-pound bag of rice or a big bag of potatoes, and you're set. Beef is often, like, it's relatively cheap, and even if you're feeling a little bit zesty and spicy, you can get yourself a pack of sirloin steaks, like 4 of them for $10, and I think that's a really good deal personally. Prices are going to depend on where you live and everything like that, but here in PA, I think that, relatively speaking, everything is well priced. But with that being said, I'm going to go and I'm going to get a killer chest workout. And I'm not sure how much of it I'm going to record today. I'm going to go over everything that I do still, but I'm not really entirely sure how much I'm going to record just because I do have work earlier today. And at the end of the day, I do need to get to work on time because I need to make money and I need to afford this car payment a little bit. So with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next cut. Okay, so like I mentioned, today's going to be a push day, so I like to start things off with my compound lifts today. The plan is to do a bench press. I'm going to work up to a heavy single, then like 2 or maybe 3 drop sets, and then I'm going to do some banded incline Smith press, and then do some flies of some sort, do some triceps, and I'll do a little bit of shoulders at the end for accessory. It's really important to warm up your shoulders like this. I dislocated my left shoulder last year, and ever since then I just really need to warm it up. So just make sure you're warming up properly for about 5 to 10 minutes before you even touch whatever exercise you're going to do. People like to oversimplify warming up. It's really simple. Just get the muscles moving a little bit, get your body nice and warm. Like for leg day, I like to do about 5 minutes on the treadmill just before I lift. Helps just get my legs warm and maybe a little bit more flexible. I usually do like 1 to 2 warm-up sets per exercise, and then I'll start really working up. If I'm working up to a single, I'm obviously not going to go like for bench. I'm not going to go from 1 plate to 2 plate to 3 plate. I'm going to do like the bar, I'm going to do 135, then I'll move up to 185, 225, 255, and then just kind of go up in small increments from there. So as far as my style of training goes, as long as I'm training to failure on my exercises, I don't really mind. I'm getting a little bit bigger, I'm getting a little bit stronger, so that's all I really care about. Nutrition is probably the biggest thing that I've had to deal with over the years. It's just understanding what my body likes, is the biggest thing. So I talked in the beginning of the video in that first little clip before I came here about carbohydrates and stuff. Part of my big fear was going from the leanest back to bulking back up again and eating a crap ton of carbohydrates again. As long as it's like good quality food, you're gonna feel good, and that's the biggest thing. So with that in mind, we're gonna get started warming up. I'll throw in a few little training clips, kind of show you guys what I do on a push day. It's my favorite day of the week. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so I'm gonna try for 280 on bench now. 260 felt pretty good, so I'm just gonna try this. I'm not gonna go for a long pause or anything, just a touch and go. Last week I got 290, but I don't know. I'm feeling a little bit fatigued today, probably because I went so heavy yesterday in squats, but we're gonna try this really quick, see how it goes. And you guys see how I set up and everything for heavy singles and stuff, so give me strength. Take off my headphones so you guys don't hear my music. That felt pretty good. I'm gonna do a couple drop sets. I'm gonna do 2 drop sets, then I'm gonna move in on my next set. Okay, so like I mentioned, for my second exercise, I'm just gonna be doing incline Smith press, but a buddy at college told me this. So the difference between this and like a typical Smith incline press is that I've got bands here, and sure, you could call it
cheating because it allows you to put more weight on, but what he said, and I feel it too, is that it puts a little bit less tension on my front delt, and it allows me to go up in weight while also feeling it more in my chest. Now, you're going to be loading up a lot more weight, especially depending on the force of the bands, but either way, it really helps me activate. As long as I'm training a failure, I really don't care what the weight is. But a side effect of it is that also boosts your ego a little bit, because I'm just warming up and I have 2 plates on there, and for my working set, I'll probably throw on 3 plates. I'm going to try and get to 3 plates and maybe a 10 today, because that would surpass last week's PR. One thing really quick that I just want to touch on is, like, I talked about motivation in my previous videos, and I think that, like, some people have the wrong aspect about lifting, like, or just, like, getting better in general. Like, a sad occurrence might push you to start something, but if you don't love what you're doing, you're not going to stay disciplined, and you're not going to, like what you're doing, especially if it's just for the exterior satisfaction of other people. Like, if you start lifting for girls, you know, like, great, whatever, but if you keep lifting just for the sake of getting girls, then what's going to happen if you get a girlfriend, get married, get whatever? Are you going to stop? Like, there's going to be a point where there's a shift that goes from external motivation to internal motivation, and I think the sooner that you get that, the more that you'll find you like doing what you're doing. And there's, like, a realization period, I think there was for me. Like, I mentioned I started lifting for the sake of girls, but then it started getting more into my own personal satisfaction. There definitely was probably a 2-month shift where it's like, okay, I need to start working on myself and not focusing on external factors. It's really unfortunate how much social media influences people nowadays. Like, there are people my age that are, like, so much stronger than me, you know, so much better looking aesthetically and everything like that, you know, but I'm getting better than I was yesterday or last week, you know, and I'm just waking up and I'm feeling better about myself, which I think is the best way to go about things. Like, if you're constantly comparing yourself to people like I'm 20, if I constantly compare myself to people like Sam Sulek that, you know, rep 4 plates on incline bench, like, I'm not going to go anywhere. So the sooner that you start looking inwards and internally motivating yourself, the more disciplined you're going to be, and the farther that you're going to get. Video's going now. I already did 1 tricep extension. I'm just going to do some overhead extensions now. That's going to be it for triceps, and then I'm going to try and get a little bit of abs in, and then after that, it's time to shower, eat my little post-workout snack. I brought some pork tenderloin and some sourdough bread for my snack, so I'm going to devour that, and then it's off to work today. Now, with this exercise, as sus as it might look, when you're doing these overhead extensions, see this pole right here? Put your ass on that pole, because it keeps your body in a very stable position, so that it's just your triceps working. I have gotten called out before, and, you know, it's a little bit embarrassing, but it's important to get over embarrassing things. I think the one thing that I'm going to try and get over is that when I get to school and I'm going to want to record my workouts, is recording in front of people, because these first videos I have working out, I've been completely alone in the gym, so it's very easy just to sit down and talk when it's just you, but when there's other people around, it's going to be a bit harder, especially for me, because I have a little bit of social anxiety, and that's something that I'm going to try and get over. So we're going to do this exercise. I'm going to take you guys with me so you guys can watch. I'm going to do like 2, maybe 3 sets of these, depending on how they feel. I don't want to exhaust my triceps too much today, because I did bench in the incline bench. So let's get started. Toss my mic on the ground. Man, I'll tell you. So, I didn't get to record an outro for today's video the day that I recorded it, unfortunately. I was only supposed to work 4 hours, and I picked up an extra couple hours just because I'm on break, and I pick up work when I can to make some extra money before I have to go back to school. And so I'm just going to make today's outro a little bit short and sweet because I still have to record another intro for the next video that I'm going to be making today that I'll hopefully get to post today. I really hope I do. So just something to keep in mind for kind of everybody that is watching, and note for myself. Strive for progress, not perfection. Everybody looks to be the best version of themselves, including themselves. But the best version of yourself isn't perfect. It's just a slow exponential increase of who you are right now. It's something that's, perfection is only something that exists in God and in the dead. Because when you talk about people who have passed, you're talking about these fond memories and how wonderful they are, but some things might not come up. When you're talking about God, God is perfect. Jesus Christ is perfect. God is perfect. That is the only true embodiment of perfection. And even then, we struggle to perceive what perfection actually is. Because even in things that we may look at as perfect now are not actually perfect. So just a friendly reminder to everybody out there. Strive for a progression of your oneself, not for a perfection of your own self.